Tetris and his old musty mop head perm stiff ponytail. And she's apparently singing the coked up white girl siren song. Because she asked him to come over. He like, nah. She like, what about coming over tomorrow? And he like, nah. And she like, well, what about coming over for Easter? And he like, nah. She like, okay, well, what about coming over for Labor Day? And he like, nah. And then he said, well, you know what? I maybe could come by in about 47 days and 16 hours and 2 minutes. And she like, oh yeah, I'll be available. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I will be recapping episode 2 of the series The Idol. Now, we start off episode 2 with Jocelyn playing the remix of her I'm a Freak song. Are y'all listening to the lyrics of that song? That song is so terribly written. But anyway, she's playing a remix of the song that she did with Tetris. And I'm so confused on the timeline because they only spent one night together. How we had time to hook up and remix a whole damn song? Like, I'm so confused. And when he came over for the night, her friend assistant told her, like, you have to be up at 7 a.m. So how many hours did we have? How long was we working on the song? I just found it very strange that after one night, they got a song together. But anyway, so the team gets together last minute and Jocelyn comes out. And I'm very fascinated at the fact that Jocelyn never dresses down. Like, she's never just in some sweats or a hoodie or a t-shirt. Okay, so she goes to play the song, and the song is a lot of breath and moaning and stuff, and I found it so hilarious. After she plays the song, like, everybody just gotta sit there quiet. Like, don't nobody really like the song. And the lady from the label, I think her name is Nikki, she the only one speak up, and I ain't see nothing wrong with what she was saying. I was there with Nikki. But I found it funny that Jocelyn's friend is like, oh, I like the breathing. What kind of compliment is that for the song? I thought that was so strange. Now, when Jocelyn goes to play her remix song for her team, yeah, first of all, this girl cannot dance. Oh my God. Like, I'm so sorry, young lady. Like, she cannot dance. But for some reason, I don't know if she flashing back to hooking up with Tetris, but she just, doing this weird stuff as she playing the song. And I'm just seeing her like, girl, yeah, how is she a pop star? How is she a pop star? She can't dance. She like, oh, y'all, this was so terrible. And I'm mad at the team. I'm not mad at Nikki. Nobody told the truth except for Nikki. Like, they would have just ran with this girl. Y'all, this was bad. Y'all remember, like, I want to say it was kind of the start of Britney Spears kind of decline and cracking up during a performance. Remember she had that VMA performance? That's every time this Jocelyn girl dances, that's what it's giving me. It's giving me that Britney Spears VMA performance. And if you know, you know. But Nikki pretty much goes into, no, this not happening. We not doing it. You already, got this single. We put money behind this. We lost money on this tour. And Jocelyn is just like, well, I'm gonna just release it all on my own. But Nikki is just like, hold on. No, that's not finna happen because we own your ass. That ain't what she said. But she's like, remember when you didn't want, like, we wanted to stop the tour, but you was like, no, let's do it. Look how that happened. Look how that all, went to hell in a handbasket. So this time around, you ain't making no decision. We say it's a no, it's a no. Like, you locked in. This is a single. We already got the video lined up. So Jocelyn tries to text Tetris before telling the crew. She tries to call him after telling the crew. She can't get in touch with the man. And I'm so confused why after one night, one initial meeting, she is so gung-ho, head over heels, just enthralled and raptured in this man. And what happened to the guy that put apple pie on her face. Like, what is that guy? Like, you are a superstar, pop star icon. Why is you desperate for the guy with the stiff ponytail? Like, I'm so confused. Now, she finally gets in touch with Tetris. They're talking on the phone, and he pretty much is just lying about where he is, who he went, because he claimed he at the club working and he by himself, and he just realized first of all, let me tell you how you catch some lies. She on the phone with him, and he tells her, oh, I've been working, and I realized my phone's on silent, and I realized that my assistant had my phone all day. Hold on now, which one is it? Did the assistant have your phone all day, or was your phone on silent? And you own a club, you got an assistant? Like, assistant where? Like, how? Like, in life? Because you was at the club all day and the assistant was at the club all day. Like, I don't understand, like, how it ain't adding up. But Jocelyn ain't really, thinking, like, she sprung after one night, whatever. And they make plans because she asked him to come over. He like, nah. She like, what about coming over tomorrow? And he like, nah. And she like, well, what about coming over for Easter? And he like, nah. She like, okay, well, what about coming over for Labor Day? And he like, nah. And then he said, well, you know what? I maybe could come by in about 47 days and 16 hours and 2 minutes. And she like, oh yeah, I'll be available in that time. Girl, like, why is she coming off so desperate? Like, I'm so confused on how they are portraying this character. Like, which one is she? Is she powerful, sexually liberated sex kitten pop star, or is she romantically challenged, desperate, needy? I'm confused because Tetris ain't got it like that. And something that I thought was really weird was when we have the meeting with all of her handlers and she get told no, the way she runs off in that scene, did y'all notice how she was running? It was so weird. She ran off like she was wearing kitten heels. Like, I was very confused. Like, she ran off like she had the legs of a deer. Like, I was just so perturbed at how she ran off. It was the weirdest run I've ever seen in my life. But next we end up, hold on, let me see my notes. Where did we go next? Because I literally just saw the episode, y'all. I can't even hardly remember. Like, it was so lackluster. Oh yeah, and I meant to say a pimp named Slickback was getting his stiff ass ponytail, bad Tyler Perry wig braided, but like a white girl. I don't know what was happening in that scene. I don't know why the hell anybody is braiding that stiff ass ponytail with all that spritz in his fake ass permed hair. Y'all, I don't know what's going on with that. Now, also, while Tetris on the phone with Jocelyn, the Dennis Rodman Cisco hybrid is on the phone with the friend assistant. And I am so confused why she into him as well. Like, I don't get why Jocelyn is into Tetris, and I don't get why the friend is into the nigga with the bleached. First of all, don't trust no nigga with bleached eyebrows. Like, don't do it. So I don't know. They done sent out some tribal mating call and the white girls is coming running. I don't understand. Now, what actually was a little interesting, so we get to the music video shoot and it's very frantic. Like the way Jocelyn is acting, she ends up late to set because she had a little happy time with a glass. Okay. I don't even know what to say about that. And what happens is when she has her happy time, she gets cuts all over the inner thighs because she breaks the glass. Like, I ain't even understanding how this happens. Like, who are you, Vin Diesel? Like, who can just break a fucking glass like in your hand or something? I don't know, child. So she ends up late to set because she is in makeup. They trying to literally put makeup over like open cuts. And She gets to set. She goes to like film, but she starts getting on the director's nerves because she keep acting like Jocelyn is acting like she's the director. She's calling cut saying, let's do another take, da 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 da. She trying to, be in control of the situation. And she just keeps not being happy with her performance. She's being like super critical about it. And the director gets annoyed and trying to say something to Nikki, who is also there. And then we end up having this whole thing where Jocelyn finally, after take after take after take, gives a really good performance. Well, how they write it, that was her good performance, but I was sitting there like, I don't want to hear this dumbass song again. I don't want to see this dumbass choreography again. They could have at least cast an actress that can dance, because baby, she can't dance. Like it's not coming across for me. Now, Jocelyn ends up, they say, she finally had her good take, but the camera doesn't get the take. The camera was like, it went out, went black, went blurry. And at the being told this, she literally has a mental breakdown. She started crying. She started screaming for her mama, who is dead. And she takes off her shoes because she's in pain. She has like the feet of a ballerina. She got blood all over her high heels. And I'm sure this is not what Cardi B meant when she said bloody shoes. Like, she is just a mess. And her manager... Okay, while all this hoopla is happening on the set, the manager is simultaneously talking to the black lady who is one of the handlers. I ain't really clear on what her job is, but she does an investigation into Tetris, and she discovers that his last known residence is Hawaii, and he owes a lot of people money. Like, basically, he's shady. So the manager goes to talk to the friend assistant, who he's trying to talk to her about Tetris, and he's asking like how the man look or something, and she's like, he's a person of color, and she just keeps saying that, and I'm saying like, who the hell talk like that? Like, who in her age bracket says people of color? I ain't never called nobody a people of color in my entire life. Like, who talk like that at your age? It was but all the dialogue really is very unnatural. But I was just like, the girl looked like she gotta be in her 20s. Like, who the in their 20s is calling a black guy a people of color? It was just very, like, I could see if the manager would have said that, it would have made a lot more sense for me. Now, we get to everything that's going on with Jocelyn and this music video. And honestly, I was kind of annoyed. I just feel like this actress is really terrible. Like, the pouty mouth that she be giving, the deadpan expression, she can't dance. I just wasn't buying it. I kind of feel like a blow up doll could give us a better performance, but she's having a mental breakdown, and the manager ends up sending the black girl over to talk to Jocelyn, and they're both just like, oh, I love you, blah, blah, blah. And she's telling her, I'ma just power through, I'ma just push through. Now, what I was referring to as the actual interesting part was, while Jocelyn can't get it right, having a mental breakdown, Nikki notices one of the background dancers that she feels is out dancing, outshining everybody, including the pop star. And I thought this was weird. Like, it happened kind of rapid speed. So Nikki want to talk to the dancer, ask the dancer if she can sing. The dancer sings for her. Come to find out the dancer know how to sing. So Nikki is like, okay, I want you to record like right now. And she ends up, like, we all know she lying, but she tells Jocelyn, we gonna try and do this tomorrow. You need to go home and get some rest, get yourself together. And she pretty much is like promising Jocelyn that she could do it tomorrow. But we all know that ain't true. And Nikki ends up telling the lady from Vanity Fair, who is still here. I mean, how many days do reporters be with celebrities to do a story? I don't know, but she's been there for days. And she tells her, oh, I'm about to have a better story for you. Now, this is the most interesting aspect for me so far in the story, is this backup dancer who seemingly has a friendly relationship with Jocelyn, taking Jocelyn's place and setting her up with Tetris, which we find out later in the episode. That's the most interesting aspect of the story for me. Now, Nikki ends up the next day, the manager comes to Jocelyn, because now we done found out, like, you ain't recording the video. Now, I felt like, I don't know how logical this is. Like, if I'm Nikki, I'm with the label, we trying to recoup money, because remember, we lost money from that tour. I don't feel like I'm going to bet on a new artist, an unknown artist. I would think that putting out a single with an already established pop star is going to get a lot more just automatic traction than putting out a single with an unknown artist. I don't know. Like, if I'm trying to get, and that ain't really, I don't know if that's really logical for me. I forgot to say, in the middle of everything that was happening at the music video shoot, they suddenly cut to Tetris and everything he got going on. And I literally sat there like, what the fuck is this? We see the Dennis Rodman guy gyrating and pumping the air while simultaneously being electrocuted. Like, what is that? Like, I was so confused. And Tetris is like pumping him up, coaching him. Like, I was like, what was this? Oh my God. I could not be an actor in this scene. Like, oh my God. It was, I didn't know what was going on. And then they suddenly just cut to Jocelyn at the music video crying for her mama. Like, I don't know why we threw that in and edited, like put it in at that moment. I don't understand. And also, when the black lady come over to talk to Jocelyn to give her a pep talk, she like spits. I don't know what that was. I don't know what was happening, but okay, let's jump back. So the next morning, Jocelyn is talking with her manager, and I was kind of confused by this conversation as well, because he was talking about the tour and how he can't keep floating her and paying her mortgage. Okay, you have one, tour where you had to refund sales, but I thought y'all said she an icon, she a pop star. I would think she has a lot of money. Like, even if she lost a lot of money, I would think she still has like a ton of money, and including the fact that at the music video, she was kept saying that she'll pay for this out of her pocket. So I don't know. They just kind of threw that in with the manager saying float in the mortgage. I didn't really know what was happening. And the manager's like Pepe Le Pew accent is taking me for a ride. It's really throwing me for a loop. So Jocelyn ends up calling Tetris, and far as I know, he still ain't got in contact with her. Like, she texted and called him, now she calling him again. Now, this is when we find that the background dancer is hanging out with Tetris, knows him, set this whole thing up for Jocelyn to go to his club. And when the dancer tells Tetris that Nikki, the lady from the label, wants to sign her, he gonna say, oh good, I can recoup like the money. What is, I know he looked like a vampire, and I know he looked like a pimp, but he seems to really be a pimp. Because what do you mean recouping money? Like, what was that line? I didn't understand. But really, the dynamic, the storyline, the situation of the friendly background dancer, taking Jocelyn's place, setting her up with Tetris, being a part of this whole scheme. I like that storyline a lot better than the romantic relationship between no acting as Tetris and stiff-bodied as Jocelyn. Like, let's focus back on the label and all that hoopla. Now, Tetris happy he can finally get his return on the dancer, and he ends up accepting the invite to go to Jocelyn's house, and he brings his friends. Now, last time we saw him just float through the gate, but this time he rides in a car. He left his magic carpet at home this time. And I thought this was weird. The friends get to the house, and it's a girl that came along. She like looks at Tetris for his permission to get in the pool and go for a swim. And I didn't know why Jocelyn didn't peep that, because I would have been like, why is she asking you? Like, I can see asking the homeowner, can you get in their pool? But she literally looks at Tetris for his permission to get in the pool, and he gives her the go ahead. That was very odd. And Jocelyn comes out wearing a toddler's t-shirt, and we see the Dennis Rodman kid with his bleached ass eyebrows go over to creepily, like this was so creepy, talk to the friend assistant like, oh, I followed you home. And you know how they do on this show, they gotta talk real breathy, because for some reason your breath is sexy. Like, I don't know, but he has this really I do not get why this girl is into him, but he has this very odd conversation with her about everybody knows Tetris. The fuck you mean everybody? Like, who the fuck is everybody? I thought that was so weird. And I find it very funny that the friend is so adverse to Tetris, don't trust him, don't like him. But once she finds out that this guy is cool with him, she has no issues at all with him. Like, I find it very odd. And she even gets this full story from the Dennis Rodman guy about how Tetris discovered him and signed him and transformed him. And the second he said transformed, I was like, yeah, these niggas is vampires. Like, what do you mean he transformed you? It was very, very strange. And for some reason, the girl that went swimming, she trolleys on over topless to the piano. And I guess just because Sam Levinson wanted to see small titties play the piano, we're here. So that happens. Now, Tetris and his old musty mop head perm stiff ponytail goes off with Jocelyn, but before they go off to her room, why the topless small titty girl goes into Jocelyn's room? And I'm sitting here like, this is some violating that. I ain't never in my life. You do not go to somebody's house and go in a motherfucking bedroom. Like, that is so rude. But I would think that as a celebrity, you would be a lot smarter than this. Jocelyn is in the room about to hook up with Tetris. Baby, why is his friend like in her closet, like right there? Like, she tells Tetris to go get her robe, wrap around her head, and baby, the girl is in the closet handing him the robe. Like, they could have been taking all kind of pictures of you, recording you. How is this girl supposed to be a pop star icon? Like, you not being very smart. It was very weird. Now, y'all, we got some of the worst dialogue I have ever heard in my entire life. Tetris gonna tell this skinny ass, pancake ass white girl that she got a juicy booty. And it ain't nothing wrong with being skinny and having a small behind, but juicy and small, no, juicy booty mean thickums, okay? It means you got a little something back there. My chihuahua got a juicier booty than this white girl. Like, I was so... But y'all, that ain't even as far as it go. We literally get the funniest, most comical sex scene I have ever seen. I was dying. I need the groupies and the ex-girlfriends of The Weeknd to come out and tell me if this is how he really talked. Because this was so hilarious. Like, I was dying. He was saying the weirdest stuff. stuff. And the way he was saying it, I was like, it was so insane. He's like, turn around. You look like a treat. Yeah, like that. Show me that. I was just like, what is going on here? Like, it was so weird. He's like, yeah, slap yourself. Jump on one leg. Turn around. To the left one time. To the right. I was just like, y'all, it was so... Nothing about this scene was sexy or erotic. It was just cringy and comical. Like, I could not. I was about to die. And then Tetris tells her to suck on his noodle box, and we get craziest like sound effect backing track. What do people be doing on these goddamn sets? Because I cannot. I would have ruined the take because I would have been giggling the whole damn time. Like, y'all, it was so insane. Now, after they have the most cringe-inducing, stiff-ass ponytail sex in the history of perm head niggas, we see Tetris and Jocelyn laying in bed. So now, supposedly, they just hooked up, but he laying there fully motherfucking clothed. Like, he like 3-piece suit clothes. I'm talking about buttoned up to the neck. What was y'all doing, bro? Like, what? Like, he is fully, okay, whatever. Now, he ends up just coming out and saying to her, we need to do 3 songs to get to the label, and I should move in. It'll make, for work, it'll make it easier. And this dumbass girl is just like, okay. Huh? Like, what? Superstar? Baby, no. Don't no superstar pop star meet a stranger and just be like, yeah, we finna do these 3 songs. We finna turn it into the label. Like, Beyonce and Jay-Z was dating a few years before they gave us their songs together. Like, nobody does this. This is so... There is no way that you can convince me that this grown behind woman is going to move a man in that she literally spent 1 night with. Now, 2 nights. She barely know this man. They could have at least included a scene with some dialogue of him trying to, like, convince her to let him move in. Something besides her just being like, okay, I stay in a townhouse, not a freaking mansion, and I ain't moving no man. First of all, I'm not moving in no nigga with a perm. Second of all, I'm not moving in some man into my house that I barely know. I wish I would meet a man, excuse me, I wish I would meet a man and have him say, yeah, Nikki, we should do some videos together, and I should move in because it'll make it easier. Easier for what? Me to murder you? If I wanted to leech, I'd go to the pond. And then these just both, like, this has got to be a male fantasy because I don't see neither one of these women hooking up with these men. Like, the friend hooking up with Dennis Rodman, first of all, I wish a man that looked like that would approach. It ain't no way that she should be talking to that man. The second he came up to her, she should have said, if you don't take your bleach eyebrows, tub of bleach, and develop a silk shirt wearing, double nose, yellow, gold, double nose piercing, jury head ass away from me, these got to be the most desperate ass. I cannot believe for one inkling of a second that either one of these women would think twice about these 2 men. And maybe I'll buy that she will have a 1-night stand with old boy, but move him in, do songs with him? Hell no. This girl is just literally as dumb as a box of rocks. Like, she don't have the sense God gave a duck. And I'm really confused as to how we're even supposed to feel about this Jocelyn character. Like, are we supposed to be feeling empathy for her? Are we supposed to be relating to her? Because nobody on the show even feels like a real person. Like, nobody feels human in the slightest. Like, we got a Dennis Rodman Cisco hybrid ass nigga. We got the freaking pimp named Slickback, Master Splinter permed head guy. Like, I don't understand. Nobody is human on this show. We got Pepe Le Pew. Like, I just don't understand what is going on. But this, y'all, that ain't even as crazy as it gets. We get to the end of the episode, and the topless girl, who is no longer topless, she covered up her small titties, is playing the piano, right, and singing, and she's apparently singing the coked up white girl siren song because I'm not Chloe. Chloe is the girl dancing because Jocelyn is just like drawn into the room where the girl's playing the piano. And this is the first time that I've seen a cult really come together. This is the beginnings and inner workings of the start of a cult. Because everybody come in there, including the bleached eyebrows, and we all just singing this We're Family. My mama was yelling and whatever the hell the song was saying, child. It was a terrible song. Now the little young lady can sing, but the song was terrible. And this whole scene was very cringe and terrible. And I was confused as to why, if y'all see the friend in this scene, bleached eyebrows and her hooked up, but she looked so disturbed. Like she don't look very, like she was really looking like scared, or like I was confused. Like, girl, why did you come out the room looking like that? Did he electrocute you? Like, I was very confused on why she looked that way. The Weeknd is not a good enough actor to pull this off. The episode was very sloppy. The dialogue is y'all, I really feel like this dialogue was written in crayon. Like, this is the worst, most unnatural dialogue I've ever just heard in my life. And that's where the episode closes out. We just singing by the piano. We here. Thank you so much for watching this video, for supporting the channel. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.